the philosophy is around organics, for sure.
Please visit your local farm.
I'm Anna, and I like shopping here because there's lots of yummy food.
What did you pick up today?
Strawberries, peas, and something.
With growing interest in organic food and the benefits of shopping local, the Gibsons Farm Collective is one of the jewels of the Sunshine Coast. Established in 2010, the Gibsons Farm Collective is a group of Sunshine Coast farmers who work together to provide coasters with fresh, delicious, locally grown produce. Brookbank Farm on Henry Road near Gibsons is a founding member of the collective and is also the pickup location for customers. Farm owner Dawn Myers agreed to give me a tour and share her fresh food philosophy with me. Dawn originally farmed and sold produce through farmers markets, farm stands, and through a week-to-week community-supported agriculture model. Now, customers can order online and then once a week, they pick up their produce that was freshly picked that morning.
I know it's not for everybody, but it's really important for people to have an option to buy their food locally if that's important to them, and to buy organic food, and we offer that. There's not a lot of large farms selling organic produce on the coast. So some days when I feel like, oh, it's too hard work, I think I'll just go do something else, I have the customers come by and just say, oh, thank you, we love your food so much, it's like tastes so good, and then I go, okay, that's why I'm doing it. So keeps me going. So on a week by week basis, people order their vegetables, exactly what they want, and then I compute a list and I give it to each farmer of what they need to harvest. So we pick to order, there's not wastage like if you go to a farmer's market. Then they come to the farm and they pick it up, so they still get to come to the farm and meet the farmers. Yeah, so we're always looking for other farmers who want to be a part of the collective, and it's a great model because we all work together to market and distribute our produce. Before that, you'd have to used to go to a farmer's market. It took a whole day. You know, you had to be there, and this way it's just you bring it, drop it off, and you're done. So yeah, it works for everyone, I think. And I think the customers really like it. They like coming to the farm, and they know that their product's organic and picked fresh that morning. So. And we encourage them, especially the families, to come and walk around the farm when they come, because we have all sorts of animals, so of course children love those. So basically this is where everything begins. I spend a lot of time in here. I make my own organic mix, and pretty well everything starts in these containers, which have been used for many years, over and over and over. And then they get taken over here. This is heated. We try and keep it around 25 degrees in here. And so right now this is the warm weather plants. They germinate in here, grow a little bit, and then they get moved out to the greenhouse to harden off a bit, and then they go out to the field. Here we have eggplants and peppers and cucumbers and melons and basil and winter squash. That's about it in here.
So do you have to start a lot this way, or can you seed directly to ground?
Most things we start like this, so it's very labor intensive, but then you have better results when you put it in the field. But things like beets and carrots, and beans and peas, we definitely direct. So, yeah.
Good.
This greenhouse, as you can see, my husband's really into recycling things.
I like it.
And so all of these windows came from the dump. So it's really functional too. I can open and regulate the temperature in there. And we had the chickens in here in the winter time to help. And then it was all shelving everywhere where the plants from the propagation room came, and they were put in here. And now it's getting too warm in there. So then a friend gave us this. So we've just made this into where the plants come. As soon as they come out of the propagation room now, they come in here.
Lovely.
And then when they're ready, they get planted out in the fields. Yeah, so now that greenhouse is going to be mostly tomatoes and eggplants in there too. And those plants that were started over inside and hardened off, they all come out into the field. You can see I've just uncovered those broccoli now because they're mature. And then underneath all of these row cover, these white tunnels, there's more broccolis and cabbages coming along. over there's beans and beets and lettuces and leeks and onions and chard, all sorts of things.
So you had mentioned organic earlier. So what is organic?
Well, organic's really important to me. Like, I do not want any chemicals or pesticides on my food. I'm not certified organic. The other two farms that I originally started, the Gibsons Farm Collective, were, so I followed their lead as far as what's required. But now that they're gone, Paul and I are debating going certified. And we'll probably do that this winter. And that's just to validate what we're doing. It's not that we need to change anything, but then, you know, we can have the label that says, you know, and people can trust that. However, you know, like, our customers know we are. They're welcome to walk around anytime and look at anything, and they know what we're doing. But it's important. I worry about what's in our food.
And then the organic certification, is that Canada-wide? Like, who regulates that? What does that mean?
There's a governing body, but we would regulate through a BC regulating body, and there's several of them. Yeah, so there's a set of criteria that you have to follow, and they give you a list of standards and ingredients that you can use, and, you know, and best practice ideas. And
then in that organic certification, is there a small allowance of chemicals?
Well, that's an interesting question, because I actually think I'm beyond organic, because I don't put anything on. That's the only thing. We start our plants with a product called Gaia Green, which is a really nice organic fertilizer mix with natural ingredients. But there's all these things that are allowed in organic certification that I go, I don't know. I don't think I would use that. Again, the certification would just be to validate what we're doing. I suffer for it from a lot of things. We definitely have various crop failures each year, where like this year I'm having terrible problems with flea beetles, which are coming in and devastating some of our crops. But I've learned to live with that, roll with that. I do a huge diverse array of plants, and knowing that there'll be some things that probably won't make it. I get asked regularly, you know, are the other farms organic? Can I actually go and inspect them and talk to the farmers and make sure that they're following the guidelines? That's our niche, right? We have to be organic. So some people, they don't like the quality of the organic food in the supermarkets because it hasn't been picked that day. And then some people just can't make it to farmers markets, or they would rather not go to farmers markets. And this way they can order exactly what they want and know what they can prepare their meals and pick it up, you know, at a specific time and plan around that. I learned as I go along. When we moved here, I was like, whoa, these trees really need pruning. And I asked some friends what they would recommend. I started reading books, and then I just went for it. Yeah. So hopefully I'm doing it right.
Yeah. Looks like it.
I wish I'd had a bit of schooling, because then I think I would have gotten along a little bit faster than what I've done. But my whole family is gardeners. We're typical English gardeners, and I guess I come by it naturally.
Nice.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, Annie Boo.
This is my husband, Paul, who is just as important a part of this farming business as I am.
She always says that in front of a camera.
I wouldn't be able to do it without him. So with his support. So Paul builds everything around here. And there's an amazing amount of stuff that needs to be built around a farm. So
I also just planted potatoes.
he just planted potatoes.
Nice.
My title is Jethro. Boy Friday. Most people who are food conscious are pretty well in touch with each other, and they know their local farms. Our kind of vision is to reach out to the other 95% of those who live on the coast. It scares us that 3% of our food is grown on the coast, and the rest of it is incumbent on BC ferries. So yeah, I think it's a process of education, but we work on the convenience by having our online ordering process, which is super ramped up the whole CSA model in a very interesting way. And the other thing that we find that the consumer is driven by, of course, is price. So the food conscious are happy to pay the real price of food. You know, they understand it, they get it, they're willing to commit. But there are many, many people on the margins who who are on a budget, or who at the end of the day they're still going to reach for the cheapest thing on the shelf. So when you see 2 crowns of broccoli for $7 in the local supermarket, come to our farm stand where it's $6. So I think that the insecurity around food is already starting to catch up to us, and we're only going to see more of that. So yeah, so we have lots of opportunities for people to visit the farm, both scheduled and unscheduled, with various groups. We do, of course, have a website where we preach our gospel of food rather strenuously. Farming is 12 months of the year, and all kinds of help is needed. So we love volunteers. We fall down and worship volunteers, and in exchange we give them an experience that they will never forget, and maybe some food and some libations. And we have a website. It needs a little updating.
It does.
Yeah, if you know
Another
any
winter
web people,
job.
call to action. Any web people out there who would like to donate a little web time, we love you. Please visit your local farm. You'll find the food healthier. You'll find it tastier. You'll find it priced reasonably. You'll get to know your farmer, and that's about the preach. That's the preach.